In 1730-55, a grand Swedish ship named Göteborg left her harbor, heavily loaded with precious silver.
Sailing toward distant Canton, China, this vessel carried one incredibly simple but highly valuable mission: retrieve tea.
The treacherous voyage took over a full year each way, navigating dangerous waters infested with brutal pirates. Crossing the Indian Ocean, entire crews tragically died from terrible diseases, violent shipwrecks, and fatal scurvy outbreaks. They risked everything for dried leaves, an insane gamble that pushed brave men to face certain death. This single plant bankrupted powerful nations, ignited global wars, and literally redrew the map of our world.
Today, you buy this leaf cheaply, but history proves that tea is absolutely not a simple beverage.
How did a wild shrub, growing secretly in southwestern China, become the most influential plant on Earth? How did this simple plant become the most consumed beverage on Earth, toppling dynasties and fueling global revolutions? Our story begins nearly 5,000 years ago in Yunnan Province, a remote region of southwestern China. Legend says ancient Emperor Shen Nong sat under a wild tea tree while servants boiled water nearby. A sudden breeze shook the branches above, sending a few stray leaves drifting directly into his pot. Curious and adventurous, the legendary herbalist tasted the accidental hot brew and found he thoroughly enjoyed it. While this classic tale is likely myth, modern archaeological evidence confirms the historical core of this legend. The unique Camellia sinensis plant, which produces every single variety of tea, originated in southwestern China's mountains.
Locals chewed leaves and brewed primitive drinks millennia before European explorers ever discovered this valuable, wild plant.
For centuries, ancient Chinese societies used tea primarily as a medical treatment for headaches and physical fatigue. Healers ground leaves into dense paste, pressed them into bricks, and boiled them with salt and ginger. If you ordered this bitter, salty recipe today at a cafe, you would instantly spit it out. The transition from bitter medicine to an enjoyable beverage for pure pleasure unfolded slowly over several hundred years. A massive turning point arrived during the famous Tang dynasty, which ruled over China for 3 centuries. An orphaned young man raised by Buddhist monks named Lu Yu became completely obsessed with researching tea. He spent many years traveling across China, visiting agricultural regions and carefully documenting precise water source variations.
In 760, Lu Yu published The Classic of Tea, history's first book focused entirely on it.
His comprehensive text covered processing raw leaves, selecting ideal water flavors, and choosing appropriate brewing vessels correctly. Lu Yu transformed a simple, casual folk remedy into a highly refined art form with philosophy. The impressed emperor quickly made tea a taxable commodity, realizing the government could easily generate immense fortunes. Devoted Buddhist monks drank this beverage for centuries to maintain intense mental alertness during long meditations. As Buddhism spread steadily along regional trade routes, traveling monks brought tea culture directly into Japan. A monk named Eichu served hot tea to Emperor Saga, who immediately ordered local plant cultivation. Japanese tea culture exploded when the prominent monk Eisai brought powdered matcha back from ancient China. Eisai promoted the unique drink to elite samurai warriors to enhance their focus, discipline, and stamina. Over subsequent centuries, the Japanese tea ceremony developed into one of history's most celebrated cultural rituals.
Master Sennorikyu formalized the ritual around 4 central principles: harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility.
The deliberately small rooms forced powerful, heavily armed warlords to bow low when entering the space. All social rank and military status were completely abandoned at the doorway to emphasize true presence. Meanwhile, back in China, Song dynasty preferences shifted from compressed brick tea toward whisked powdered varieties. During the Ming dynasty, Steeping loose leaves directly in hot water became the universal global standard. Tea flowed steadily along the dangerous Silk Road, eventually reaching markets across Central Asia and Europe.
Portuguese explorers encountered tea in Macau during the early 1500s, viewing it simply as curiosity.
Smart Dutch merchants recognized the massive business opportunity, importing large shipments to Europe by 1610.
In 1662, King Charles II of England married the devoted Portuguese princess Catherine.
Catherine proudly brought her personal daily tea habit into the royal court, making it highly fashionable.
Within one single generation, tea transformed completely from exotic novelty into the definitive British national drink. The British East India Company quickly shifted focus from textiles toward this incredibly lucrative global commodity. A massive financial crisis emerged because China held an absolute, tightly guarded monopoly over world tea. The proud Chinese emperor confidently rejected British manufactured goods, declaring his nation completely self-sufficient in everything.
Great Britain was rapidly hemorrhaging precious silver reserves to purchase dried leaves, creating an unsustainable economy. Seeking a solution, desperate British merchants initiated large-scale cultivation of powerful opium crops across occupied India. Smugglers covertly transported massive illegal shipments into Chinese ports to rebalance the severely lopsided trade deficit. By the 1830s, severe addiction gripped the population, causing unprecedented social breakdown and catastrophic devastation. Outraged Chinese officials retaliated forcefully by destroying over 20,000 confiscated chests of British black market contraband. Utilizing this destruction as a convenient pretext, the British military immediately declared a devastating naval war. Winning decisively, victorious Western forces forced open 5 major trading ports and aggressively seized Hong Kong. The brutal Second Opium War erupted shortly afterward, yielding similarly destructive results for the defeated nation. As the amber liquid fills the cup, one cannot help but reflect on the day's proceedings. A moment of tranquility before the bustle resumes. Concurrently, imperial planners devised a highly covert, parallel strategy designed to shatter Chinese agricultural dominance permanently. In 1848, corporate leaders secretly employed an adventurous Scottish botanist to execute corporate espionage. Robert Fortune disguised his true identity by shaving his head and wearing traditional silk Mandarin garments. Accompanied by 2 local guides, he infiltrated restricted agricultural territories where foreign travelers were strictly banned. He spent months documenting guarded industrial processes, including oxidation, frying techniques, and manual leaf rolling methods.
The spy successfully gathered 20,000 delicate seedlings alongside 17,000 viable seeds for illegal transport.
He packed the valuable seedlings carefully inside specially designed glass Wardian cases to survive long ocean voyages.
The bold industrial spy successfully recruited 8 native tea processing experts to relocate secretly with him. Fortune brought everything directly to the majestic Himalayan foothills, where cool mountain mists provide ideal cultivation.
He also dispatched plants to Assam, where wild indigenous tea varieties were initially discovered years earlier.
Within 2 short decades, colonial tea production exploded dramatically across sprawling plantations owned by British corporations. China's centuries-old global monopoly over the lucrative international tea market was officially and completely broken.
Poor Tamil migrants endured grueling daily schedules for microscopic wages within an abusive, heavily controlled system.
These exploitative environments closely mirrored forced labor, leaving deep societal scars that remain visible even today.
If you enjoy uncovering hidden global history, subscribe now to ensure you never miss upcoming episodes.
While Britain restructured international commerce through corporate espionage, tea ignited profound political rebellion across the Atlantic. By the 1770s, angry American colonists faced aggressive British trade taxes under the controversial Tea Act.
On a cold December night, disguised colonists boarded merchant ships,
dumping hundreds of tea chests overboard.
This bold act of defiance destroyed massive fortunes, valued at nearly $2 million in today's currency.
The famous Boston Tea Party served as a primary catalyst that triggered the bloody American Revolution. To demonstrate clear political defiance, patriotic citizens abandoned British tea entirely, embracing coffee as national identity. This massive cultural shift endured permanently, leaving America uniquely dominated by coffee consumption over traditional tea. Back in Great Britain, afternoon tea customs blossomed, widely popularized by Duchess Anna Russell around 1840.
Experiencing midday hunger, she requested afternoon snacks, quickly transforming a personal habit into high society fashion.
Within decades, this aristocratic ritual spread universally, providing industrial factory workers with vital warmth and caloric energy.
Wealthy aristocrats enjoyed expensive varieties inside lavish estates, turning basic leaves into prestigious symbols of elite status. Remarkably, this versatile beverage functioned as a great social equalizer across deeply divided, unequal economic classes.
The rapid onset of the Industrial Revolution quickly turbocharged nationwide consumption to entirely unprecedented new heights.
Highly affordable tea provided essential caffeine boosts to maintain worker alertness during incredibly exhausting, dangerous shifts. Crucially, boiling the water killed deadly waterborne bacteria, protecting urban populations from widespread contagious diseases.
Many prominent historians argue this drink literally made industrialization possible by keeping labor forces highly productive.
By the late 19th century, tea functioned as the definitive financial lifeblood of the British Empire.
Massive imperial vessels transported millions of pounds annually, satisfying an insatiable domestic demand across the nation. The intense shipping process quickly transformed into an exciting public spectacle filled with high-stakes international competition.
Legendary tea clipper ships raced furiously from China to London, competing to deliver precious new harvests.
In 1866, two leading vessels concluded a long journey separated by merely 20 short minutes. Enormous crowds gathered at urban docks, while major newspapers enthusiastically covered these voyages like professional sports.
As the innovative 20th century arrived, global tea consumer traditions began experiencing another massive cultural shift.
At the 1904 World's Fair, a regular merchant struggled to sell steaming beverages.
Because the brutal summer heat deterred buyers, he dynamically poured cold ice straight into the brew. This spontaneous solution birthed iced tea, which currently accounts for 80% of American tea consumption.
Around the same period, a clever New York merchant accidentally invented the modern commercial tea bag.
Unaware they should open it, customers simply submerged the entire pouch directly into boiling hot water. The highly practical innovation quickly birthed a massive global industry, providing effortless brewing for average consumers. However, traditional purists in East Asia fiercely rejected these convenient commercial bags, favoring classical loose leaves.
Across the 20th century, diverse international traditions blossomed, establishing legendary custom variations around the globe. In India, rich spiced chai emerged supreme, masterfully brewed with milk, sugar, ginger, cardamom, and cinnamon.
In beautiful Morocco, aromatic mint tea quickly became an absolute cornerstone of deep social hospitality and respect.
Hosts pour the beverage from impressive heights to create thick foam, serving each guest 3 separate times.
Across Turkey, traditional tea completely replaced historic coffee culture as the definitive national beverage during the 20th century.
Turkish tea is brewed incredibly strong inside stacked teapots, then served beautifully in delicate tulip-shaped glassware.
Turkey now consumes more tea per capita than any other independent sovereign nation across the globe.
Throughout remote Himalayan regions, legendary butter tea has provided a crucial caloric dietary staple for centuries. At freezing elevations above 14,000 feet, this salty mixture offers essential fats, calories, and hydration. Around 2010, the ancient powdered green tea known as matcha suddenly achieved massive global popularity.
Popular social media applications immediately lit up with endless images of green lattes, pastries, and desserts.
By 2020, the rapidly expanding international matcha market reached a staggering valuation of $4 billion.
Today, farmers cultivate this global commodity across more than 50 diverse countries on every habitable continent.
China leads global output, followed closely by India, Kenya, Sri Lanka, and the agricultural fields of Turkey.
Global yield exceeds 6 million tons annually, with over 2 billion individuals consuming the drink daily.
The sheer scale of industrial tea farming generates more than $200 billion in revenue.
Amazingly, every single variety produced worldwide originates from one solitary botanical plant species, Camellia sinensis.
Green varieties are heated rapidly to halt oxidation, whereas black varieties undergo full enzymatic oxidation processes.
This incredible plant evolved from an ancient accident into a medical remedy, a luxury, and empire tool. Your morning cup connects you directly to Tang Dynasty scholars and samurai, mastering the deep art of presence.
It links to brave soldiers brewing hot tea under heavy artillery explosions during the First World War.
They tried to break us, but we're still here. We rebuild, no matter the cost.
The immense global history of war, espionage, and labor exploitation lives inside this seemingly ordinary beverage.
If this historical journey surprised you, subscribe immediately to catch every fascinating upcoming documentary episode.